Excellency, distinguished guests, delegates, ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome back to the 4th International Conference on Islamic Epistemology in this afternoon. So I hope that you're still excited, as us to continue the agenda of the next program, which is the invited speaker session. So I hope that all of you already have a good lunch. So we will continue to the next agenda is the invited speaker session. So we have two invited speakers in the first day of the ICIE. So the first one is Dr. Yusdani M.Ag, a senior researcher at Universitas Islam Indonesia, and then continue with Dr. Yusuf Hidayat M.H, the Dean of Law Faculty at Universitas Al-Azhar Indonesia. Okay, so for the first invited speaker after the break, so we would like to invite Dr. Yusdani M.Ag. So Dr. Yusdani, are you? Alhamdulillah, great to see you, Doc. Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So Dr. Yusdani, before you delivering the speech, allow me to read your profile first. Okay, Associate Professor Dr. Andes Yusdani M.Ag is a senior lecturer and researcher at Program Studi Hukum Islam, Program Doktor or PHIPD, Jurusan Studi Islam Faculty or Faculty of Islamic Studies at Universitas Islam Indonesia, Yogyakarta. His area of interests are Islamic studies, Islam and contemporary political issues, Islam and gender, Islam and human rights, Islam and multiculturalism, Islam and family law, Islam and local wisdom. And also beside his activities as a permanent lecturer at Universitas Islam Indonesia, he conducted research on the several issues. And he also has published several articles, either in Indonesian journals and also in international journals. So besides, he has published also several books and books chapter on Islam and contemporary issues. And he has also become a speaker either in national and also in international seminar or conferences. So without further ado, please welcome Dr. Yusdani M.Ag to deliver the speech about the basic framework of Indonesian Islamic Studies Epistemology. The time is yours, Dr. Yusdani.
Thank you, Mbak Santi. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wa bihi nasta'inu ala umuri dunya waddin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya wal mursalin sayyidina wa maulana Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajmain amma ba'du. First of all, I would like to thank to Professor Murni Jamal as conference chair, and Ibu Dr. Hendrawati is co-conference chair, and also Mbak Santi Rahmawati as a representative of Research Synergy Foundation, and Director of Universitas Al-Azhar and Director of Universitas Islam Win Syarif Hidayatullah. The two name is similar name, Professor Asep Saifuddin, but Saifuddin one is Asep Saifuddin only, and the other Saifuddin, what is it, Saifuddin?
Jahar,
right,
yes.
Okay, and then I express happy milad for Universitas Al-Azhar Indonesia, and I thanked to the committee to give me chance to or opportunity to present with the Indonesian Islamic Epistemology. Indonesian Islamic Epistemology is my title. And so I thank to Habib Hirzain as the Triple IT representative of Indonesia and others, and also invite speakers, participants, and guests who participate in this conference. And I think if we try to talk or to share about Islamic epistemology, I think before I start, I share my screen. maybe I want to introduce about Islamic epistemology in Indonesia. If we try to share or to discuss about Indonesian Islamic epistemology, I think the first of all, it is very general, very popular. I think we can say that Islamization of knowledge. Islamization of knowledge, I think if we try to classify Islamization of knowledge, I think at least there are two schools, two mazhab. The mazhab of Naqib al-Atas and mazhab of Triple IT. Yeah, I think it is very popular in Indonesia. I think there are several universities who support this epistemology. I mean that the Islamization of knowledge. And the second, I think it is also is an alternative of Islamization of knowledge. I think the majority of the Muslim scholars in Indonesia understand that we can say that it is a prophetic Islamic epistemology of knowledge. I think we can understand that this title, you can say the prophetic, I think this epistemology proposed by Professor Kunto Wijoyo, and now I think it is a very ongoing process. I think very interesting to discuss about prophetic Islamic epistemology. And the third, I think it is also the popular one, I think, in the majority of Islamic universities in Indonesia, for example, I think integrasi and interkoneksi or integrative and interconnective epistemology that proposed by Professor Amin Abdullah. And I think also there are several universities to support this idea. And the next, I think also, but it is not only one. If we try to understand that naturalization of Islamic knowledge, or we can say that naturalization of Islamic epistemology of knowledge, this title or this kind of epistemology proposed by Professor Dr. Mulyadi Kertanegara. Yeah, I think at least we can say that it is at least four kinds of epistemology in Islam in Indonesia. Okay, and the next, can I share my screen by myself?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Can the participants see my my slide?
Yes, doctor.
Okay.
But I think
Okay.
better to put in the slideshow.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I think if we try to share about the Islamic epistemology today, at least we can say that Islam faces three level of challenge. Yeah, three level of challenge. The first challenge is, I think, it is very popular one that you can say that it is global challenge. Global challenge. The example of global challenge, I think it is very popular one. For example, sustainable development. It is a kind of the challenge, a global challenge, or the global level of challenge. And then I think that also gender equality challenge, and also with human rights. So these several issues on the global challenge. So the question is how Islam can answer this challenge. How to answer this challenge? I think we need a new epistemology. And then we can go to the second challenge, is the national challenge level. Yeah, national challenge level. For example, I think about the nation state of Indonesia. I think still now that some of Muslims still say that it is good or not. I think it is the phenomena, for example, the proposed Islamic State of Indonesia. I think it is a kind of we can say that it is a kind of a national challenge. And then also about we can say the law enforcement challenge, and etc. It is the example of a national challenge level. And the next, we can say that also local challenge. Local challenge, I mean that local challenge can be regulated, for example, local wisdom or local tradition. How can Islam face or solve the local challenge? in terms of, for example, I think that it is local culture or local wisdom, sometimes, or local tradition. I think it is. So today, at least Islamic studies faces three-level challenge. The first is a global challenge, and national challenge, and local challenge. Yeah, I think it is the contemporary challenge of humanity, and the next, I think it is, if we observe the trend of Islamic thought today, at least there are 6 trends of Islamic thought. And we know that Islamic thought derived from Islamic methodology. Islamic methodology derived from Islamic epistemology. So I think based on this, we can classify that 6 trends. We can say that for the first time, the first of all is legalist traditionalist. Yeah, I think yeah, it is Salafi, for example. I think it is a kind of a legalist traditionalist. They have characteristic epistemology, and then the theological Puritans. Also, I think they have characteristic epistemology also. Political Islamists, I think also they have characteristic epistemology. Islamic extremists also, I think they have Islamic epistemology also. Secular Muslims, and then the progressive ijtihadis. So based on this, I think we can understand that today, how Islam can face to solve the problem of humanity, contemporary challenge of humanity. I think the challenge of epistemology. Yeah, the challenge of epistemology. So based on this, we need fresh epistemology. So based on this, I think departing from our Islamic University of Indonesia, and especially the Faculty of Islamic Studies, we try to propose in this seminar, we can say that it is 3 sources epistemology of Islam, or sometime in bahasa epistemologi 3 kaki. Yeah, epistemologi 3 kaki. We can have 3 sources of Islamic epistemology. The first, we can say, it is very popular one. We can say that at-turas, and al-hadatha, turas and hadatha, and one skin is we can riayah al-urf, riayah al-urf. So I think it is a kind of 3 sources of epistemology that based on Indonesian Islamic University. Yeah. So I think we can say that based on it, we engage the modern word beneath from intellectual cultural resources that modernity. From the modernity, we can say that it is the terminology of hadatha, and also beside hadatha, also we try to accommodate at-turas, Islamic heritage, Islamic legacy. But in one time, we try to criticize both, either Islamic heritage or at-turas, and also about modernity. Yeah, I think it is. And then we try to accommodate about local wisdom. Yeah, local wisdom. So based on this, we can say that it is the terminology. We can say that it is a kind of epistemological cross-fertilization. Yeah, epistemological fertilization. Yeah, we try to integrate one side from at-turas, I think Islamic legacy, and the second from modernity, al-hadatha, it is from Western cultures, and then the last one is local wisdom. Yeah, I think we try to integrate 3 levels or 3 points of Islamic epistemology. Yeah, and then I think it is. We can say that 3 sources of epistemology, we understand that we need the openness and fluidity of epistemology of Islam. Yeah, I think Islam is open to all culture as long as does not contradict to Islamic doctrine. Yeah, it is. So I think we need epistemological openness and flexibility. And also we can say that also we can use the epistemology to reinterpret Islamic legacies, to please to solve the problem of a society today. And then I think we need construction of the Sharia Islamic legal scholarship must be creativity mixed together with the all scientific knowledge from Islamic tradition, Western scholarship, and also local Indonesian tradition. So it is the substance that we can say epistemology tiga kaki. So we can say it is the kind of resources of epistemology of Indonesian Islamic study epistemology. And then also we can do the construction of scientific epistemology. We can call it epistemological resources of epistemology to describe resources of civilization, namely Islamic tradition, Western civilization, and also local tradition. On the one hand, it is necessary to develop a critic Islamic, and also by Arkon, for example, Al-Jabiri, Nasir Hamid, etc., to appropriate Islamic knowledge and tradition. But on the other hand, it is also important that criticism of bias of political interest in Western scientific construction. At the same time, we need to appropriate, we can say that tradition as the peel of to grow the seed of Islamic scholars. So I think it is this substance. It is, I think, how to summarize the step to build, we can say that the resources of Islamic epistemology of Indonesian Islamic study epistemology. I think it is how the structure. And then the next we can say that it is how to use the perspective and also how to operate both the Indonesian Islamic epistemology. I think it is the description. I think this description, it is Islam and contemporary issue be based on, we can say that it is Indonesian Islamic epistemology. It is okay. But just now, I think it is very, very interesting description is from the first invited speaker, from Prof. Asep, and then from Prof. Jai Mubarak. I think there is the term about, we can say that the kind of new contemporary studies is Maqashid Syariah. Maqashid Syariah. Maqashid Syariah, I think we can say that it is a classification of distinctive values. We back to our presentation before, that the level of problem in our society today, there is 3 levels. The first, you can say that about global level, and the second is national level and local level or local challenge. So I think today, if we agree that Maqasid Sharia as the basis of the fundamental basis of Islamic epistemology, we need to formulate about distinctive value. Distinctive value. The first, it is, I think, one of them is trustee. We can say that it is amana, amana, trustee. And the next, I think, also it is justice or justice principles. We can say that also al-adalah. And the third is al-musawwa, egalitarianism. I think it is a kind of distinctive value, distinctive value. And the fourth is plurality or sometimes multiculturalism, at-ta'addudiyah, at-ta'addudiyah. Because I avoid to use pluralism, because pluralism it is very dangerous in our society, maybe, I think it is. And the fifth is freedom, al-huriyah. Al-huriyah, I think it is, we can say the distinctive value. And the next is responsibility, al-mas'uliyah, al-mas'uliyah. And the next, I think it is democracy or sometimes consultation. We need, it is a kind of distinctive value. Human right, hukukul insan. Hukukul insan is a kind of distinctive value. We can derive from the principles of Maqasid Sharia. And the next harmony, or we can say that it is fish as-suluh. Also, we say it is a kind of distinctive value in Maqashid Syariah. And then we can say that gender equality. Yeah, gender equality also, I think it is a kind of, we can say, distinctive value. And then based on the distinctive value, we go to how to implement this in, we can say, the national, global, national, or we can local level. Yeah, I think it is the problem. So the implication of this study, the study of Indonesian Islamic epistemology, I think at least we need the three level of epistemology. The first, we can say that it is a kind of multidisciplinary. Multidisciplinary, I think at least we need to understand, to discuss about the problem of Islamic study. At least we need two discipline of a sign of knowledge. For example, maybe we can say from one normative or from historical approach or from anthropological approach, and etc. And the next, we can say also the second kind is interdisciplinary. Interdisciplinary, I think at least we need two discipline, or three or more discipline to understand, to explore about how to solve the problem from Islamic study perspective. And the next, I think, is transdisciplinary. Transdisciplinary, I think, I think good example for us how to solve the COVID problem, in the last year, based on Islamic studies. I think it is a good example. So based on this, we need the new new kind of epistemology. So I restate that we try to propose the name Epistemology Islam Tiga Kaki. I think it is resources of epistemology consists of Islamic legacy, we can say the At-Turas, and second is Al-Hadatha, you can say modernity, and then the last is local wisdom, Al-Arab. So Al-Muhafadha, Al-Qadim Salih, Wal-Ahsu Bil-Jadil Aslah, Wari'ayatul Al-Arab. I think it is my short presentation about Indonesian Islamic epistemology. I think it is my Santi Rahmawati. I think it is my short presentation, but I think the conclusion is we try to propose from Islamic University of Indonesia three points of epistemology, three sources of epistemology. In Bahasa, we can say that epistemology tiga kaki, or we can say that epistemological cross-fertilization. I think it is enough my short presentation, and thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you so much, Dr. Yusdani. So we do learn a lot from your speech, and this is the new term, Doc, regarding the epistemology tiga kaki, which is applied in Indonesian.
Yep.
So I think perhaps it also have some similarity with other country, but not exactly the same. So Dr. Yusdani, actually we have several questions.
Okay.
So we have several questions. Let me see the question first. Okay, so the first question is coming from Samina Ashraf. So the question is, respected sir, in your view, how can the broader international community learn from Islamic principles and practices to improve the global sustainable development efforts?
Yeah, I think I can answer now. Okay,
Yes.
Thank you for challenging and difficult question, I think. If we try to understand about Maqashid Syariah and also the epistemology that I proposed before, that it is the challenging. I think, the first step, we must formulate about the distinctive value of Islam. The distinct value, for example, I think, at least I have promoted before, at least 10 kind of distinctive values. Yeah, I think it is. And then after we have formulated this distinctive value, we try to share about the system of each country in the world, for example. Or I think, but sustainable development, I think today need the religion contribution. Yeah, we need religion contribution to solve the problem of sustainable development. I think it is, and then it is the challenge and opportunity for the Muslim scholars to contribute, or religious scholars to contribute it. But I think we depart from distinctive value. But I think in the study of Islamic law, we can say that there are three levels of norms. Yeah, the first is we can say that uh, it is based at the value, and second the principles, and the last is concrete norm. But if we try to answer sustainable development, I think only by using concrete norm, I think so enough. It is not so enough. But we try to formulate and to conduct simultaneous level of norm. I think it is from distinctive, from basic values, and then share values, and concrete norm. I think it is the step how to answer about the challenge problem. For example, climate change. I think it is the example. I think we need 3 steps how to answer about because we can say that value, it is accommodated by all religion. I think it is Mbak Santi Ramatik maybe can answer the question.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Yusdani. Okay, so we will go to the next questions. Okay, we'll go to the next question. So it is coming from the Hadia Jafait. Yeah. Sir, if you could please deliberate on the culture and religion interface. How relevant is it to observe cultural norms, particularly if the norms are oppressive?
Yep. Okay, thank you for the second difficult question also, I think. Yeah, I think if we return to the basic legal maxim in Islam, yeah, I think it is the popular legal maxim, al-'adatu muhakkama, al-thabitu bil-'urfi ka-thabiti bin-nas. I think it is good example, good guidance to explore, but how to relate Islam one side, or religion one side, and local culture one side. I think it is the challenging for Islamic studies, especially for Islamic jurisprudence studies, because today we must answer the challenge of local culture, because I think, yeah, sometimes maybe some people said local culture is a kind of a heresy, or we can say that it is a bid'ah. But I think today we must classify it about the local culture into two classifications. The first about the Akidah and ibadah or ritual. I think there is no local culture. But in terms of muamalah, I think the basic principle al-muamalah, al-aslu bil muamalah al-ibaha. But conversely, in terms of akidah and ibadah or ritual, we can say that al-aslu bil ibadah al-tahrim. I think it is. So based on this, I think today we need peak of culture. We need peak of culture. I think peak of culture we need it today, because sometimes the Muslim still controversial with the Islam and religion. But I think we need new science or new knowledge of Islamic studies to study of the culture and religion. We can peak of culture, or we can say that peak budaya. Yeah, peak of culture. But I think we return to the basic principles. Yeah, the basic principle according to Maqashid Syariah. Maqashid Syariah, I think 3 levels of norm. Yeah, 3 levels of norm. I think it is values and share values and concrete norm. Yeah, concrete norm. But yeah, according to anthropological perspective, yeah, I think there are several perspectives. We can say that it is several perspective on the culture. But I think we need what is the substance of the culture in Islamic perspective. Yeah, we need it. I think. I think. The step is how to formulate the basic values of Islam regarding the culture development. I think it is Mbak Santi Rahmawati. Maybe
Yes.
I can this answer only. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
It's very comprehensive, actually, Dr. Yusdani. Yeah? So, and also interesting. And we go to the following up questions. It's also coming again from the Samina Ashraf. So the next thing is, how can the insight gained from the Indonesian Islamic Studies epistemology that you shared before, Dr. Yusdani, contribute to promoting intercultural understanding and cooperation among diverse Muslim communities globally?
Yeah, I think, I direct to answer the question. Based on my presentation before, that we can say that we must formulate the basic values of the culture, I think. So based on this, I think the scholar of Quranic interpretation, I think we need it. We need how to interpret Quran in new way, how to accommodate about Islamic epistemology on cultural studies. Yeah, cultural studies. We need cultural studies. So, for example, Islamic area studies, for example, today, Southeast Asia Islamic Studies, South Asia Islamic Studies. I think if we can classify at least there are 7 Islamic area studies today. So I think we can say that we have we have basic values, but we have different local culture. We must accommodate. I think Islam, at least, for example, we can say from the historical perspective or from anthropological perspective. For example, in the book very popular Al-Azhar at-Tarikhiyah Syariah Al-Islamiyah, I think based on this, actually Islam can accommodate the local culture. Yeah, I think it is my short answer. Thank you.
Okay, thank you once again, Dr. Yusdani. And perhaps this is the last question, Doc. So this is the last questions coming from Mamduk Budiman from Unimus. So Dr. Yusdani, as we know that Indonesia has various tribes and cultures, as well as traditions and also religions that are very heterogeneous, and how to ground the epistemology of the value of Islamic law to local cultures and traditions that are already firmly rooted.
Yeah, I think the first step, we must formulate about the basic value Islamic basic value on the cultures. I think it is, we must formulate it. It is part of values of culture, the values of Islam. And the second, we must understand about the characteristic of the culture. And then we classified the culture at least into two classifications. The first classification, fight, and we can say that also rituals. Yeah. But the second is, we can say that mu'amalah. Yeah, I think the culture in this context, including mu'amalah. Yeah, including, but not ritual in terms of the faith or theology or akidah, and also not in ritual or ibadah mahdah. But we can say that it is a kind of culture. We can say they include it as we can say that it is mu'amalah. Yeah, al-mu'amalah. Yeah, I think it is. I think this is my short answer. The last my short answer, Mbak Santi. And thank you for all for question. And I think my presentation only to propose Indonesian Islamic Studies by Tiga Kaki. Sri Lanka Epistemology of Islamic Indonesian Epistemology proposed by Islamic Studies Faculty of Islamic University of Indonesia, because Indonesian Islamic University, you must be based on local culture, also based on Islam culture.
Okay, thank you so much once again, Dr. Yusdani.
Yes,
so
thank you.
Learn a lot, and this is also the way to give more explanations to wider society, Doc, through your presentation. So we learned a lot about the Indonesian Islamic epistemology. Okay, so I think although there are a new question, Dr. Yusdani, I think we can continue to No, I mean, we can continue the questions later on in the Global Research Ecosystem community platforms, Doc. Later we can also continue the discussion. And Furthermore, we can also have collaborations ahead, perhaps, in that community platforms. Later, we will send the link of the forum or the discussions. So I hope that you can also be part of it, so you can also engage with the scholar that is interesting to your research. Okay, Dr. Yusdani?
Inshallah, inshallah. Thank you.
Inshallah.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much once again. So as the recognitions and also the appreciation from the 4th ICIE committee, we would like to give a token of appreciations to our invited speaker. Okay. So in this opportunity, I would like to call Dr. Habib Hirzin as the country representative of Indonesia from the International Institute of Islamic Thought, IIT, as the co-host also in the 4th ICIE. Dr. Hirzin, Dr. Habib, the time is yours. Okay. Okay, so perhaps Dr. Habib not standby. So perhaps on behalf of the committee of the 4th ICIE, we would like to welcome Bapak Muhammad Ridwan, perhaps Pak, to give a token of appreciations to our invited speaker, Dr. Yusdani from Universitas Islamic Indonesia. Would you please to unmute first, Pak? Unmute first. One more time. I think you click double. Unmute first.
Thank you, Bu Santi.
Okay. Yeah.
I think we have Dr. Ahmad Husin Lubis from IIIT Indonesia representative.
Okay.
So I give the opportunity to Dr. Ahmad Husin Lubis to give the certificate of appreciation of token of appreciation to Dr. Professor Yusdani.
Okay, please welcome Dr. Ahmad Husin Lubis. Please unmute, sir. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. Dr. Yusdani, this is kind of a token of appreciation for your really great presentations, especially for me from different backgrounds. I really enjoy this, but seems to me we have to learn more about this. So please receive this as a token from the committee and from the University of Al-Azhar Indonesia. It's a really great presentation. I enjoy your presentation. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Pak Ahmad, Dr. Ahmad Husin Lubis and Pak Muhammad Ridwan, and also Pak Santi Rahmawati. Thank you. I think we can continue, collaborate about how to share about the Islamic epistemology for the next time. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Of course, Dr. Yusdani, we
Thank
can
you.
continue it in consortium.
Inshallah. Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Okay.
Okay, once again, thank you so much, Dr. Yusdani,
Yeah,
and
thank
also
you. Wow.
thank you for Dr. Ahmad Lubis, and of course
Thank you very
to
much.
Pak
You're
Ridwan.
welcome.
Thank you so much.
Lokasi di kota pendidikan ini, kota Yogyakarta dengan segudang cerita dan budaya yang beraneka ragamnya. Dan Universitas Islam Indonesia hadir sebagai kampus Indonesiawi. Berdiri berdampingan dengan ilmu pengetahuan, budaya, dan seni yang memberikan warna indah dalam harmoni. Kini berhenti membayangkan dan sudah saatnya bersiap untuk mewujudkan. Siapkah kamu? Karena kami siap untuk menunjukkan jalannya.